This article is about the demographic features of the population of Cambodia, including population density, ethnicity, education level, health of the populace, economic status, religious affiliations and other aspects of the population. Between 1874 and 1921, the total population of Cambodia increased from about 946,000 to 2.4 million. By 1950, it had increased to between 3,710,107 and 4,073,967, and in 1962 it had reached 5.7 million. For the 1960s until 1975, the population of Cambodia increased by about 2.2% yearly, the lowest increase in Southeast Asia. By 1975, when the Khmer Rouge took power, it was estimated at 7.3 million. Of this total, an estimated 1 to 2 million reportedly died between 1975 and 1978. In 1981, the park gave the official population figure as nearly 6.7 million, although approximately 6.3 million to 6.4 million is probably more accurate. The average annual rate of population growth from 1978 to 1985 was 2.3%. A post-Khmer Rouge baby boom pushed the population above 10 million, although growth has slowed in recent years. In 1959, about 45% of the population was under 15 years of age. By 1962, this had increased slightly to 46%. In 1962, an estimated 52% of the population was between 15 and 64 years of age, while 2% were older than 65. The percentage of males and females in the three groups was almost the same. Population and age distribution. Structure of the population. Vital statistics. UN estimates births and deaths. Fertility. The total fertility rate in Cambodia was 3.0 children per woman in 2010. The fertility rate was 4.0 children in 2000. Women in urban areas have 2.2 children on average, compared with 3.3 children per woman in rural areas. Fertility is highest in Mondulkiri and Ratanakiri provinces, where women have an average of 4.5 children, and lowest in Phnom Penh, where women have an average of 2.0 children. Fertility and births. Total fertility rate and crude birth rate. Infant and childhood mortality. Childhood mortality rates are decreasing in Cambodia. Currently, the infant mortality rate is 45 deaths per 1,000 live births for the 5-year period before the survey, compared with 66 deaths reported in the 2005 CDHS and 95 in the 2000 CDHS. Under 5 mortality rates have also decreased from 124 deaths per 1,000 live births in 2083 deaths in 2005 to 54 deaths per 1,000 in 2010. Childhood mortality decreases markedly with mothers' education and wealth. Infant mortality, for example, is twice as high among children whose mothers have no schooling compared to those with secondary or higher education. The association with wealth is even stronger. There are 77 deaths per 1,000 live births among infants from the poorest households, compared to only 23 deaths per 1,000 live births among infants for the richest households. Mortality rates so much higher in rural than urban areas. Infant mortality, for example, is 64 deaths per 1,000 live births in rural areas compared to only 22 in urban areas. Mortality also differs by province. Infant mortality ranges from only 13 deaths per 1,000 live births in Phnom Penh to 78 deaths per 1,000 live births in Cambodia. Kampong Shnang and Svay. Rying. Life expectancy in 1959. Life expectancy at birth was 44.2 years for males and 43.3 years for females. By 1970, life expectancy had increased by about 2.5 years since 1945. The greater longevity for females apparently reflected improved health practices during maternity and childbirth. Ethnic groups. The largest of the ethnic groups in Cambodia are the Khmer, who comprise approximately 90% of the total population and primarily inhabit the lowland Mekong subregion and the Central Plains. The Khmer historically have lived near the lower Mekong River in a contiguous arc that runs from the southern Korat Plateau where modern-day Thailand, Laos and Cambodia meet in the northeast, stretching southwest through the lands surrounding Tonle Sap Lake to the Cardamom Mountains, then continues back southeast to the mouth of the Mekong River in southeastern Vietnam. Ethnic groups in Cambodia other than the politically and socially dominant Khmer are classified as either indigenous ethnic minorities or non-indigenous ethnic minorities. The indigenous ethnic minorities, more commonly collectively referred to as the Khmer Lou, constitute the majority in the remote mountainous provinces of Ratanna Kiri, Mondul Kiri and Stung Treng and are present in substantial numbers in Kratie province. Approximately 17 to 21 separate ethnic groups, most of whom speak Austroasiatic languages related to Khmer, are included in the Khmer Lou designation, including the Kwi and Tampuan people. These peoples are considered by the Khmer to be the aboriginal inhabitants of the land. Two of these highland groups, the Rade and the Jari, are Chamic peoples who speak Austronesian languages descended from ancient Cham. These indigenous ethnic minorities haven't integrated into Khmer culture and follow the traditional animist beliefs. The non-indigenous ethnic minorities include immigrants and the descendants who live among the Khmer and have adopted, at least nominally, Khmer culture and language. The three groups most often included are the Chinese Cambodians, Vietnamese and Cham peoples. The Chinese have immigrated to Cambodia from different regions of China throughout Cambodia's history, integrating into Cambodian society, and today Chinese Cambodians or Cambodians of mixed Sino-Khmer ancestry dominate the business community, politics and the media. The Cham are descendants of refugees from the various wars of the historical kingdom of Kampa. The Cham live amongst the Khmer in the Central Plains, but in contrast to the Khmer who are Theravada Buddhists, the vast majority of Cham follow Islam. There are also small numbers of other minority groups. Thai peoples in Cambodia include the Lao along the Mekong at the northeast border, Thai, and the culturally Burmese Kola, who have visibly influenced the culture of Palan province. Even smaller numbers of recent Hmong immigrants reside along the Lao border, and various Burmese peoples have immigrated to the capital, Phnom Penh. Khmer 90%, Vietnamese 5%, Chinese 1%, other 4%. Languages. Official language. Khmer languages of education English, French. Minority languages Cham, Vietnamese, Tumphun, Lao, Jari, U Chinese, and many small Mon-Khmer languages at an LT 0.25%. Sign languages American Sign Language. Religions. Buddhism 95%, Islam 1.6%, Christianity 0.2%, others 3.2%. CIA World Fact Book. Demographic statistics. The following demographic statistics are from the CIA World Fact Book, unless otherwise indicated. Population 15,461,398. Note: estimates for this country take into account the effects of excess mortality due to AIDS. This can result in lower life expectancy. higher infant mortality and death rates, lower population growth rates, and changes in the distribution of population by age and sex than would otherwise be expected. Population growth rate 1.698%. 1.71%, 1.77%, 1.75%. Sex ratio at birth 1.045 male, female under 15 years, 1.02 male, female 15 to 64 years, 0.95 male, female 65 years and over, 0.6 male, female. Total population 0.96 male, female. Life expectancy at birth, total population 64.14 years, male 61.69 years, female 66.7 years. HIV/AIDS adult prevalence rate 0.5%. People living with HIV/AIDS 63,000, 75,000. Deaths 1,000, 3,100, 6,900. Nationality noun Cambodian or Khmer. Adjective Cambodian or Khmer. Urbanization urban population 24 to 69% of total population. Rate of urbanization 4.6% rate of annual change. Literacy definition age 15 and over can read and write. Total population 73.6%, male 84.7%, female 64.1%. Educated expenditure 1.7% of GDP. Overseas population. Countries with notable populations of overseas Cambodians are Thailand, Vietnam, United States, France, Malaysia, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, China, UK, Laos, Singapore, Hong Kong,